Ginseng Power features regular One Nation East Coast collaborators Capital LS and Arsu. This track is actually known by several different names, including Thug Nigga, Coast to Coast and Trump Tight, but I like the unusual name Ginseng Power best, so I'll refer to it as that. The track gets that particular title from a line by Capital LS in the first verse, in which he mentions he and his homies having women like the Ginseng group. Could he be referencing an attractive female hip-hop or R&B group from the 90s perhaps? I've not been able to find any trace of such a group in my research for this video. Instead, LS could be alluding to the supposed benefits of ginseng, an ancient East Asian herbal medicine, which include improving vitality and sexual function, useful for his encounters with all those women he mentions. Either way, if you know, drop me a comment below. The track is produced by Corrupt from the Dog Pound and features a meandering bass line and liberal use of the G-whistle, a sound that is familiar to hip-hop fans from so many West Coast G-funk tracks. Tupac's verse is notable for its theme of unity between the West Coast and East Coast. He urges people to come together from Compton to Brooklyn, Long Beach to Long Isle, and Crenshaw to 125 and do or die. 125 meaning 125th Street in Harlem, and do or die Bed-Stuy being the nickname of Bedford-Stuyvesant in Brooklyn. Puck goes on to name-check the One Nation album, describing its goal of putting an end to the East Coast-West Coast feud, and lists all of his main East Coast collaborators on the project: the Cocoa Brothers, also known as Smith & Wesson, Buckshot, Greg Nice, Capital LS and Arsu. The atmosphere on the track is jovial and raucous, and I think more than a little Hennessy was consumed while they were making the song. Interestingly, Greg Nice is mentioned on the intro and the outro of the song, but he doesn't provide any vocals, nor did he produce the track, so I wonder if he had some hand in it behind the scenes. Or maybe Tupac was showing him love simply because Greg Nice had introduced Puck to Capital LS and Arsu, the two guests on the track. The outro runs too long in my opinion, and Tupac's shouted ad-libs become grating after a while. The track received an unofficial release in 2010 by Australian label Zelon Entertainment, but it has never received an official release. Puck's verse was probably never recycled for one of the posthumous albums, because he mentions the One Nation album and all his One Nation collaborators, which wouldn't have made sense to listeners when heard in isolation. If this track is ever officially released, the outro should be cut short, which is actually what some people do when posting the bootleg online. If you've not heard Ginseng Power yet, give it a listen, link in the description below, then drop me a comment to let me know what you think.